good morning. Hope you're all doing well. So yeah, I had so much fun making the last little video, I thought I'd give it another go. And yeah, bring you along for another little wander. I hope you'll enjoy being out this time in the rain with me. Certainly not ideal, but you know, is what it is. So this morning I've come down to Martlesham Creek. It's an area quite close to where I grew up. In fact, I had a very close friend who lived quite literally just over the road down that way. Yeah, in fact, we could probably see his house right at the end of the road here if we were to go that way. But yeah, so being here brings back quite a few fond little memories of just running about in the woods, messing about as a child. So it's quite nice to return to these sort of places time to time. But yeah, so Martlesham Creek, it's just a small little tributary of the River Deben that runs past Woodbridge. I haven't really got a set plan of where I'm actually going today. There's a small little creek that has a few boats and the likes, so I might just head down there and have a little look, see if we can see any nature down there. It depends a little bit on how the tide is as well. We'll see. We'll see exactly what we can see down there. I've got my camera and equipment with me again. So yeah, let's head down there and see what we can find. Hope you enjoy this little walk. Bye. And so almost immediately from the outset, I knew today was going to be a different challenge thanks to the inclement weather. Regardless, I decided to press forward, and I was so glad I did. So we're now just about coming up to the little crossroads where I would make my decision of which way to head. First of all, this way is the actual creek, which I will head down there any moment now. I can already see some birds flying about, so that's a good sign. Now when we come back, I either head up that direction towards some farmers' fields, or alternatively carry along inside the woods and head down that way. I think, judging by the rain, that might be the best idea, simply because of how soggy we're getting. At least under there there'll be a little bit of colour. And so yeah, let's just head towards the creek now. And the water's really high. It's certainly a beautiful sight regardless. Hopefully you'll enjoy it. Immediately upon leaving the trees, it became obvious that the rain had set in for the day. Nonetheless, I was delighted to see a beautiful sight of a number of swans and little grebes dancing across the water's surface. Continuing further along the path, I stopped to overlook this waterlogged field. Here I was able to admire a few wading birds, plenty of seagulls, and my first little egret of the day. Pressing further on out into the rain, I passed these reeds. I was lucky to see a few reed buntings flying back and forth, which unfortunately didn't get on video, and then this encounter with a particularly brave little dunnock, who had made this place his home. A little further up the path, I elected to turn back towards the safety and cover of the trees, once again passing our little dunnock friend, plus a surprise little encounter with England's bluest bird. Along the final stretch of the path back towards the trees, I was treated to a number of sightings of some of England's smaller birds, including blue tits, great tits, and probably about a dozen goldfinch. Well, that was a bit of fun. Saw quite a bit more than I expected, to be completely honest. I caught quite a few swans. I saw some, I believe it was a godwit flying by, which was quite nice to see. I wasn't expecting that with such high water. And a little bit further up through a flooded field, I actually managed to get a couple of little egrets. I mean, they were well in the distance. So I don't know how great that footage will be, but we'll soon find out. But So I decided I would head back this way, just because the weather is getting worse and I don't feel like getting completely soaked these days. And while I do think my camera is supposed to be waterproof, I don't really want to put it to the test, because that could be a very expensive mistake. So yeah, for the time being I've come back under some cover, but the journey back along the water there was quite interesting. I got a lovely little clip of a very brave dunnock, so that was nice. And then shortly after that I got a very, very short clip of a kingfisher, which I am really pleased about. It didn't in a million years cross my mind that I might see a kingfish today, and so even just to get a very short clip of it in the distance even, I'm still very, very pleased with that. So yeah, so for now I think I'll continue on through the woods, make the most of the cover while I can, while I decide what I'm going to do next. Hopefully I can find somewhere a little bit drier. As I emerged out onto the docks, I took a moment to look back and admire some of the houseboats moored on the docks. I have to say, I don't envy them in this weather. Continuing further up the water's edge, I was glad to finally get a small break in the rain. I've just walked through the docklands down at the creek, and clever old me, I realised I've forgotten to put my microphone on top of the camera. So touch wood, any footage from here on will sound a little bit nicer. But yeah, I thought this might be quite interesting, something just to share. This area of Martlesham was bought out by the Suffolk Wildlife Trust a little while ago, and they are now in the process of rewilding it, just allowing it to go back to the way it should be. They've bought out quite a few fields in the local area. It should be quite a large area. As you can see, there's the creek there, and they've bought out quite a large area, several of the farm fields, and from what I understand they won't all become available for rewilding immediately, but they should, over the next coming years, as the various leases on the different fields run out, they should all then become part of this upcoming wildlife reserve, which is certainly something I'm looking forward to seeing. It'll be really nice just to have more wild green spaces for us to explore, and hopefully bring a little bit of wildlife back to the area. So it's my understanding that effectively all this ground behind me, all these fields, all the way right down to the river in the distance there, all of this land is going to be turned back into the nature reserve, the Suffolk Wilds, or Martlesham Wilds, sorry. And so it's going to be quite fantastic when that finally happens. It's something I'm really looking forward to. So fingers crossed we will be able to get a few more lovely videos out here in the times to come. At this point the rain had returned with full force, and most of the wildlife and birds had done the sensible thing and taken cover. I did, however, get the opportunity just to stop and watch these jackdaws as they rooted about through the fields. And so a little further up the path, I took the opportunity to call into St Mary's Church, where I was able to admire the beautiful architecture, as well as say hello to an old family friend. Upon leaving the churchyard, I spotted a squirrel beneath the oak trees, as well as a pigeon who looked even less impressed with the weather than I was. As I headed along the final leg of the journey towards home, I spotted these beautiful mushrooms growing on the side of this oak tree. I would love to know what species they are. And I think that just about does it for today's little tour. I'm currently heading back towards Martlesham again, just through the bridleway that takes us down to the RSPCA. I'm not 100% certain which way I'm going to head. I've probably got barely half an hour's walk left anyway, but I may well take a left just up here just to explore a little bit of these woodlands. We'll see how I feel when I get there. But yeah, so today's just sorry about that, my GoPro decided it had enough and ran out of battery. So yeah, after all that I have taken a little walk through the woods. Hopefully it'll get me in focus, my arms aren't that long. But yeah, and so it was lovely to see the kingfisher, as brief as it was. But yeah, I think it's time to head home now. I've gotten rather soggy. It's been raining more or less the entire of the last 3 hours, so I'm quite looking forward to getting home and getting in the warm again. As much fun as it has been, sometimes it's you know when it's time to quit. But yeah, all in all, been a really lovely day. Hopefully we're in focus. And hopefully you've enjoyed this little video, and I'll, touch wood, I'll be able to get out again, make another new one soon. So goodbye for now, thank you for watching. And so thank you for joining me on this little wander around Martlesham Creek. While the weather was certainly suboptimal, I have to say I thoroughly enjoyed it nonetheless. I hope you have enjoyed following along with me today on my little adventure. Please consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel so you can come back again soon to join me for another wander. Goodbye for now.